Hey everyone, welcome back to the Analytical Coding. Have you ever noticed that sometimes we see a date hierarchy in Power BI and sometimes it just disappears? Ever wondered why that happens? So, in this video, we will clear up everything about date hierarchies, how and when they appear or disappear, and then what is a date table, how to mark a table as date table, and why we should mark a date table. So let's get started. Firstly, what is a date hierarchy? Right? Whenever we load a date column into Power BI, it sometimes automatically shows year, month, quarter, and day. And this is called a date hierarchy. And this happens because Power BI creates a hidden auto date time table for that column. And these auto date tables are created for each date or date time columns. And these date tables are not visible here. We can only see the hierarchies here, and which means an auto table is created. And they don't work well when we have multiple date fields or large data sets. And now, when does hierarchy appear or disappear? The hierarchy appears only if the column is of date or date time data type. That is the first point. And going into the second point, auto date or time is enabled in Power BI options. So for that, navigate to the file and under that, select options and settings, and under current file, choose auto date or time. So, whenever that selection is enabled, then Power BI automatically creates a date hierarchy for columns which are of date or date time data types. Okay. Now, this hierarchy can disappear when, first point, when we create relationships to other tables. So, here you can see that in the data view, we are having calendar auto, a table which is created using the calendar auto function and which has all the dates that are present in this model. Okay. Now, let us create a relationship. Before that, you can see for order date, we are having the date hierarchy. Clear? Now, let us create a relationship between this calendar auto date column and order date. Okay. Go to the model view and create a relationship between these two date columns. So here you can see this relationship is active between these two. Now let us go to the table view, and here you can see we are having date hierarchy for delivery date, payment date and ship date, but for order date you can see the date hierarchy is not visible. So this get disappear when we create a relationship to the other date tables. And second one, when we disable auto date or time option. So let us go to the file, options and settings, and options. And now in the current file, under the data load, let us turn off this option. Okay. Now let us click on OK. You can see that the date hierarchies are disappeared for all the date time data types, and you can see that clearly there are no hierarchies, right? So these date hierarchies, that means auto date tables, are created by Power BI whenever it detects a column with date or date time data types, right? So this is the reason behind the date hierarchies and which are the auto date tables. And now, so what is a custom date table and why it is needed? So, a date table is just a table with full list of dates and time related columns. So, in addition to the year, month, quarter and day which auto table shows, we can also have many other required columns like fiscal year, weekday, etc. Right? So, we need this custom date table because it is reliable for date based analysis, and it works with multiple tables or multiple dates, and it is required for time intelligence functions to work properly. Now, let us see how this works with multiple date columns we are having. right? So here in the orders table, we are having four different types of date time columns, right? So in the model view, we have created a direct active relation between the order date and this date. And now, whenever we want to create a relationship between the date and delivery date, so it must be a inactive relationship. And similarly for the ship date. So here you can see we are having an active relationship between the order date and date and inactive relationships for delivery date and ship date. Okay. Now let us understand how this really affects our reporting. Right. Let us go back to the report view. Here we are having two slicers. In the first slicer, I have added the order date directly from the orders table. And in the second slicer, I have added the date from the calendar auto which we have created. Right. And now you can see here I have added three cards which shows total order count and total delivered orders and total shipped orders. Now, what is my requirement is whenever I select a particular date, I have to see number of orders placed on that date and number of orders that are going to deliver on that date and number of orders that are shipped on that date. So the orders may not be same, but how many orders are in process, right, on that particular day. So I wanted to see that. So here from the order date, I am going to select 3rd January. And whenever I select that, so my requirement is I have to see all the orders on 3rd January and all the orders that are going to deliver on 3rd January. But whenever we see here, you can see the order date is 3rd Jan. But here the delivery date is 5th January, but not the 3rd January, right? But here we can see this is displaying the number of rows which have order date as 3rd Jan. That is this one row. But this is not our requirement, right? So whenever we choose a date directly from the orders table without a common date table, so this is the issue which we will be getting, right? So for this purpose, we have to choose the proper date table. So that is why we have created a custom date table which have all the dates and we have created the relationships, right? So now if I select the 3rd Jan here, you can see we are having only one order on that day, but we do not have any deliveries or any shipments on that particular day. And it is right, yes, we only have order for 3rd Jan, but there are no shipped and delivery dates. And this is what our requirement is, right? So whenever we select a particular date, we have to see the total number of orders we got on that day and number of orders which are in the delivery. And here you can see that, right? So whenever I select 18, so there are two rows for 18th Jan which have order date as 18. And for ship date, we have one row with 18th Jan. And for delivery date, we have one row. So it is getting displayed accurately whenever we are using a proper date table. So that is the main reason we should create a custom date table to get the proper data and accurate results, right? So now we have learned how to create a date table, right? Now let us see how to mark it as a date table. So here, whenever I click on this date table which I have created, in the table tools, you can see mark as date table. And when I select on that, so here it is turned on and we have to choose a date column. So here I am having only one column, that is date. So whenever a particular table satisfies these conditions, then only we can mark a particular table as a date table, right? So here we have selected date and selected save. You may ask me that why should we mark a table as date table? So marking a table as a date table tells the Power BI that, hey, this is the official calendar I want to use for all my time based calculations. So, here is why it is important. The first one is time intelligence functions need it. So, functions like total YTD, dates MTD, etc. So, it expect a proper date table. And the second point, so it disables the auto date or time confusion. So the auto-generated hidden date tables can clash with our model. So marking a particular table as date table gives full control over what calendar is used. And the third point is improves performance. So using one consistent market date table instead of many auto-generated ones reduces the memory usage and improves the performance. And the fourth point, it enables cleaner relationships. So with a market date table, we can create clean one-to-many relationship between the fact and this date table and a best practice in data modeling. So that is about why we should market date table. That is it for today's video. And in the upcoming video, we are going to learn time intelligence functions. So please do like, share and subscribe to my channel.